Continue practicing with a somewhat basic proof here, but it's going to develop our skills a little bit. You see the triangle over here with the three segments, TR, RS, TS, and we're given a few items here. We know that RT is 5, RS is 5, and that RT and TS are going to be congruent. If you want to mark any of that, you can. It might help. RT is 5, RS is 5, and we know that RT here and TS are also going to be congruent. Hopefully by this point you recognize, this third side is going to have to be 5 as well. But what we're really trying to prove is that RS and TS are the same. Okay, so here's our two-column proof with statements and reasons. The first statement over here shows us what was given to us, and that's pretty typical. We're almost always going to start with our given statements as a starting point for what we're going to be doing here. And the next thing that they've got listed is that RS is equal to RT, and that's because of the transitive property. We can say that if RT is 5 and RS is 5, then these two, RT and RS, must be equal to one another because they're both equal to the same thing. That's transitive property. Okay, and then we can say, based on this, the fact that these two are congruent, that means that the side lengths are equal. Okay, that's the definition of congruent segments. If they're congruent, then their side lengths are equal. So we went from congruency here to equality here. And then the next thing says that RS and TS are equal to one another. And really what's happening here is we're saying, well, if RS is equal to this guy, RT, and RT is kind of the middle item that we're talking about, RT is equal to TS. If that's equal to RT and RT is equal to TS, then these two must also be equal. That's another example of the transitive property of equality. Okay, and then the final thing that we're listing, which is our proof statement, that line segment RS has to be congruent to TS. Well, we've got RS and RS. We've got TS and TS. The only difference here between our previous statement is that this one's equals and this one is congruent. So what does that mean? Well, this is really the definition of congruent segments. Same as what we saw up here in number 3. If the side lengths are equal, then that means those two segments must be congruent.